Good morning, my name is Cristobal, and the topic in the interview is on conceptual art. The first question is, how do you think conceptual art redefines the notion of art?
I believe concept art is not necessarily a recent thing. It's from many years in the past. I believe it began back in the 60s, and back then a lot of the concepts that were used in art pretty much defied the European tendencies of beauty. All of those works that used to represent the meaning of beauty. Concept art started to break those rules in order to give more cryptic messages with their art. Meaning that not necessarily it has to be beautiful in order to give a strong message. I believe that is something that redefined a lot of the meanings that people gave to art. Of course, there's people who still believe art is about beauty, but I believe in this school we already understood that that is not necessarily the fact, but it's more about giving a strong message to the world with your work.
It's a prioritize the ideas over form, the technique.
The technique,
Yeah. Okay. The second question is, in what way can conceptual art be a tool for social critique?
It's kind of easy with the message. It's something that pretty much depends on the artist. Some people give. I have to say, conceptual art is pretty much a really politic kind of art. It's not about It's not about how can it give the message of how it can give the message of. It is really complicated because it's about conceptual art in general. Talks about it. People who do the concept art tends to give this cryptic style of work in order to people trying to decipher it. It's not about necessarily understanding it from the beginning, but listening to the message of the artist and understanding where the work comes from. The people starts to really understand the politic weight and message. For example, the banana in the wall in that museum. I don't remember. It was in Sydney. If I understand, I don't know where it was, but I would remember the banana on the wall, and people was completely offended about it and started to question why was it there, or what if it was really a piece of work of art or something like that. And I believe that is one of those politic messages that it can give, because that work alone started to show how the people react to something that they don't understand, coming from their ignorance or from their aggressiveness, starting to attack the people on the museum, starting to criticize people on the internet. Conceptual art in general can come from making people react and making people act thanks to the things that they see from them.
It's interesting. What role does the artist's intention play in the interpretation of a conceptual art piece?
I believe in the creation in general. The role of the artist is giving a simple message. Not giving a simple message, but giving a message with its art. But it depends. Some people like to explain things piece by piece, making people clearly see the whole vision of the artist. Some, whether you like it or not, tend to be like, whatever the people want. If you make something about a dumb politic they don't like, and they don't see it about a dumb politic they don't like, they see it as something else, like criticizing dumb people in general. You cannot say no, it's not about dumb people in general, because that is pretty much the interpretation of the people. The role of the artist in making the conceptual art is giving a message, but in general, that is all you can do. The rest of the power of the art comes from the interpretation of the people.
The fourth question is, how can conceptual art engage the viewer in an active way?
The benefit of the concept art comes from sometimes not. Sometimes the people don't want you to get near to it, but they like sometimes that you step on them. Like some people in the school has already done something like that. Stepping on carpets or something that is pretty much the piece of work, and you participating in it makes you part of the piece of art, because sometimes they tend to record it. The benefit of the concept art in regards of people, of how it can make people interact with it, is that transforming the people on the piece of art, and making them understand in a, I don't believe it was ludicrous, it was in a ludic way. You can make them experience and kind of piece together what you want to say, thanks to them acting on the piece.
Yeah, I think the same. If the conceptual art. And the fifth question is, what challenge and opportunities does conceptual art present in the digital age?
Well, social media in general is a double-edged sword. They whether they can make concept art become famous thanks to, what do I say, thanks to the publicity, people talking about it, for example, in Twitter, Facebook, or something like that. It can come as a misunderstood piece very easily because it's something very cryptic, and sometimes if the artist doesn't give a good explanation, they end up being like whatever the people thinks. The people can misinterpret the piece very easily. They can make it about another political movement. They can make it a weapon of hate if you don't defend your piece properly. I don't believe that if someone misinterprets your piece, it's a bad piece. I believe that's on the people. But if you don't defend or understand properly your piece, social media can butcher the message, twist it in order to give it a really bad meaning. Not something good or something deep, but something that makes people hate. But the challenge comes from the popularity of the piece.
Okay, yeah. What is your opinion of the conceptual art? Is a good art or a bad art?
It's a good art. I think it has its ups and downs. Some people do really good pieces that give really good messages, but from experience, and because I have seen doing the same thing, amateur concept artists tend to do improvised things that tend to be like full of bullshit, and they start to feeding the pieces and inventing things on their own, and they make something nonsensical that doesn't have any meaning, but they gave it a false meaning, improvising it, and then people realize it, and that's one of the things that give concept art a bad name. In resume, concept art, it's really good, it's really cryptic, but at the same time it's really hard to do. And because it's hard to do, a lot of people who try to do it tend to go into pretentiousness. I'm one of those people, so that's why I don't do it.
For me,
I have respect for it.
For my opinion, conceptual art is a new form of create, and personality, I like traditional art more than conceptual art. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I consider this question relevant because they address key aspects of conceptual art. Its capacity to redefine the boundaries of artist expression, the crucial role of the artist's vision in shaping the work's meaning, in the dynamic evolution of conceptual art in response to changing cultural and technological landscapes. This perspective highlights the significance of conceptual art in pushing the limits of artistic innovation and interpretation.